Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Nick Fry, also known as Nick's Music Taste, and I'm here with a couple members of one of the most exciting and shape-shifting bands to emerge in the past decade, the one and only Black Country New Road. Lewis, Tyler, thanks for being here. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah,
Very
really good.
happy. It's nice and hot in Omaha today. I love the heat. Lewis despises the heat.
Somewhere in between.
It is a little hot out here, but we're good. You all have been such a fascinating band to watch evolve over the years. It's genuinely been a privilege to witness, and it means a lot to sit down and talk with you both today.
Thank you.
As we mentioned, we are in Omaha, Nebraska, just a little far away from your native England, wouldn't you say? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
You're on tour. You're supporting your new album, Forever Howlong, your first album in over 3 years. And before we dive deeper, I just want to say the direction you guys went in, I mean, wow. It's fresh. It's totally different from what you were making early on, but still feels BCNR at its core. So congratulations, truly. It's a great record.
Thank you so much.
Just how good does it feel to finally have the album out in the world after those transformative years? What does that feel like?
Relief is my word.
Yeah, I feel similarly. It also feels really nice to have music out that we spent a long time making, you know? And getting to tour and play that live is a real privilege, so yeah.
I bet. Looking back on those early Forever How Long ideas, how much did the album change along the way? Was the end result close to what you first envisioned, or did it take a lot of surprising turns?
Funnily enough, well, I have so many words and ways I can answer that question. The end is some of the closest sounding music to music that we listen to. I'd say Lewis and I in particular are very similar music tastes. And there's like the Holy Trinity, we call them, of Besties, Happy Birthday, and The Big Spin, which kind of were formed at the end of the writing process. And I would say they sound the closest to music that I listen to out of anything we've ever made. But obviously our taste buds change all the time.
You can hear that in the music,
You can hear
for sure.
that. And like the first things we were making were things like Nancy, which started when we were making Bush Hall. I can't remember what other ones. But yeah, and then it became very seasonal. Like you had something from Nancy all the way to The Big Spin. That's like, I don't know, that's spring, that's winter, and then the other seasons are in between. So it was definitely a confusing and alarming process trying to figure out how they all fit together on a record. And part of me wishes we had more time, because then it could have been more concise. It could have been more like the Holy Trinity. What could have that album been? But this is what it is for now, and that's kind of all albums ever are, really. They're just like moments of time.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Lewis? No? All good?
Yeah, I agree, and I do think it would have been really interesting to see what would have happened if we had more time, but also it's great that you get kind of a larger span of music. I feel like the music's less consistent on the record than it would have been if we'd have had, say, maybe an extra 6 months, but it does mean the strokes are broader a little bit, and I think in some ways that's great, and in some ways that's, you know, not as good. So yeah, kind of just echoing what Tyler said, really.
Yeah. Well, one track that really stood out to me right away, and still does, is Two Horses, with the Western influence, which is super cool. The progression, the story, George's vocals, everything goes hand in hand. And I'd love to hear more about how that one came to be, because right away when I first heard it, I was like, they have never released a song like this one. And honestly, I still feel so bad for those poor horses, man. When I first heard it, I was like, no. But yeah, how'd that one come to be?
It's an interesting one, that, actually, because, you know, with our arrangement style, usually someone will bring a song in to the writing room. Can be various levels of fully formed, and we'll then add things to it. We'll add our own parts. We'll add new sections. We'll take away sections. You know, it's all up for grabs. But with this song, Georgia had the whole thing mapped out already.
Wow.
And that was the first time we'd done that. And we were toying around with it like that, and then we were like, oh, maybe we need to give it a bit more, and we kind of added more to it, and we went more a little bit more embellishment, added some more embellishments, and we went a bit more dramatic with it. Toured it like that for about a year, and then when we were in pre-production rehearsals before the album, we were like, is the version that we have been doing any better than the one that Georgia brought into the rehearsal room in the first place? And we thought, actually, no, it's not at all.
Wow.
So we just reverted back to Georgia's version.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A bit of a Taylor's version moment, and it's it works out for the better so much. Like, but that's an interesting one to pick as a question, actually, because it's like the only song on the record where it's like that was fully mapped out before arranging.
And from the mind of Georgia, especially, just mostly anyway. That's interesting. Wow. Well, it's been said before, but it really can't be overstated just how rare it is for a band to go through the kind of changes you have over the years and not just stay together, but to come back with a brand new creative voice. When you reflect on that period after Ants from Up There, what ways did that period change the way you approach making music as a group?
I don't think it changed necessarily how we make music. The process still feels pretty similar to how it was before. That being that it came from one member but then was embellished by everyone, or like Lewis said, varying degrees. That's the same as it always was, but the difference is the voices that you hear and the people that used to be quiet or felt like they couldn't speak in a room, or just because they hadn't been given the opportunity to. We're varying degrees of confidence even as a group of friends.
Yeah.
Even when you know someone really well, you can think you do, but you haven't asked them, hey, what do you really think?
Yeah.
Some people need to be given space or need to be questioned gently. So that's what changed.
Yep. Well, you were touching on the different voices. That was my next question, actually. I was going to say, was the female lead vocalist rotation that you were doing on this album, was that ever something that was even on the table back in your early days? Like, even just a passing, hey, maybe one day we should try that kind of It was? Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear that. That's actually really cool, seeing it come in to play after, I guess, years of it being an idea then. That's great.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
cool.
it just escalated how quickly it happened, and it didn't happen organically, let's say.
Yeah.
But it happened, and it's a good thing that it did.
Absolutely
It's
is,
a shame how it happened, but,
Yeah. Years before Forever Howlong, the world got its first glimpse through this new chapter with Live at Bush Hall, which is still fantastic every time. I still listen to it regularly. What role did that project play in shaping the band's direction in the midst of all the change? It felt like a massive step for all the fans, but what did it feel like for you as the group?
It was a really good opportunity to try something new and to just go for it without too much pressure. I think the fact that we went so hard with the live album aspect of it, so people wouldn't see it in the same light as a studio album, meant that we were really able to cut our teeth with something new. And not all bands or artists get the privilege of being able to do that. So much like the new explorations have to be taken as this super serious thing that that they tried something new but we hate it. We kind of got a free pass on whatever we were doing because people were engaged in the story and wanting us to do well. So it was really important for that. It taught me that I wanted to try singing and then definitely didn't want to sing, so I'm really grateful for that, because if I'd have just gone blind into the first record of the new sound and been singing, I would have probably been a complete anxious wreck on release day, and I don't even know if I'd be going up and singing at gigs now. So I think it was just a really good learning curve, really. It's just kind of felt like a free shot.
That makes sense. Yeah, just total freedom to just kind of begin a new chapter and
Exactly.
start something
Yeah.
new.
Without the pressure,
Without the pressure, absolutely. And that sounds amazing. That's probably not something many artists get to have an
No.
opportunity to do.
No, and also we have such a loyal fan base who were just willing to just be there, show up, still buy tickets for our shows, still buy the records, the live records.
Yep.
You know, who were able to support us, and that gave us the freedom to make a creative shift. You know,
Yeah.
It's all down to them, really, realistically.
Yeah. Super cool. Also, I think you're being a little too hard on yourself. I think you have a pretty good voice, Lewis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a bit of me also just finding it really scary and horrible. So
That makes sense.
I'm having a way nicer time at gigs now. I don't have to sing. So
You can go out the night before and drink and smoke.
Yeah, I
and
can-
not worry about
you can do
the
whatever you
next
want to
day.
do. Yeah.
Well, you're a few shows into this tour now. What's it been like to finally bring these Forever How Long songs to life on stage? I'm really excited to see for myself tonight.
It's great. I mean, we believe in the music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be totally honest. Bringing it to a live space is both incredibly exciting, and then once you get there, you go through phases of doubt. The voices in your head say, "Hang on, do I believe in this music?" You know, it's really like ripping them apart. You know, in your experience of them, your personal experience of them. So, getting over that hump. I'm certainly over it now. I had it a couple days ago, and now
Yeah.
I'm back in the driver's seat again of my own consciousness, and I'm like, yeah, I do believe in this, and it's sick.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is music that I like, and I like to play it. We wrote it largely in a style that is fun to play, that no matter what mood we're in that day, we can just let the song take us as we perform them. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah, so my fingers always have fun, even if my mind isn't having fun, you know?
Yeah, that's very cool. That's good to know. So, I was gonna ask you. You said it took a couple days to go over that hump. Is that something that you've felt on every tour prior? Is that
Yeah.
it is? So
Yeah,
that's
it's
just a normal tour, kind of
lack
getting
of
into the swing of
confidence.
things.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. Okay.
And hopefully nobody has that wave at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Normally there's someone else that can drag you out of it.
What's been your favorite song to perform? Just briefly, why? What off of the record?
I really love when we're really locked in playing Happy Birthday. When that's good, it feels so good to play. When it grooves really well, it's like really exciting.
And then it goes from being the worst song to play when it doesn't groove.
Yeah.
It's these small, simple things where, like, if you don't click in, you're screwed, you know? And it's just like a simple thing, the groove, but like you have to feel it. And if you don't, you're lost.
Yep.
What's mine at the moment? Maybe Goodbye, I'd say. Any of the songs where the three of us girls are singing harmony together.
Oh, bet.
Because
I
that
bet.
feels both joyous and like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
So.
I bet it does. I'm super excited. I'm
I
very
also
excited.
actually really, and it's not because I don't play very much, but I love it. I love doing Mary because I just take both of my in-ears out and just, especially if you're in a big room, just listening to their vocals like blending together and the harmony is just so lush. I just get to sit there and chill for a bit.
Yeah, like you're in the audience.
It's great.
almost.
So good.
Nice.
So good.
What would you both say is the biggest difference between a Black Country New Road crowd in 2025 versus one in 2019? How has your live audience evolved alongside your music?
The gender split is so much better.
Yeah.
More people are able to come up to us girls and say hello. Don't know whether people have gained confidence, but people are generally more socially capable. you
Yeah.
know?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm liking meeting more kinds of people. It was very one-dimensional back in 2019,
Yeah.
which is like, it can be hard as a woman to engage with a crowd that is totally male. And I have nothing against men. I love my male friends dearly.
No,
I
that
do.
sounds like it would make
But-
complete sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say as well the kind of attitude of the crowd is very different as well. And that's definitely going to be down to a more equal gender split. But I think back in the day when we had gigs, you know, a lot of people shout out, try and be funny and stuff, which is like cool, yeah, but it does get a bit annoying sometimes. And now we really just have such warm audiences, and they're so sweet. And whenever anyone's shouting anything out, you just kind of have this natural instinct being like, oh God, are they saying something horrible? But it's always just something so nice. They're just, you know, we've got very lovely crowds. Everyone's very friendly.
Yeah.
You know, and you hear like horror stories of like, I've had like friends who've been in bands where the crowds are getting this, like really memey and pictures of Peter Griffin and stuff like that. What's the point? It's just go and watch the show.
Yeah.
But and it can detract from their experience at the show as a performer. But we've not got anything like that. We're so lucky with our crowds.
Yeah, for sure. Even just standing a little bit next to the line, a little bit, kind of overhearing some people's conversations, I could tell people had just met and they were already just interacting about the love for your guys' music. And
people meet.
Come across that quite a lot.
Yeah.
People making friends at our shows. I remember when we first played the Bowery Ballroom, and we heard about loads of people that had become friends through Reddit. And Reddit is a space that at the time, I mean, I still rarely touch it because I'm kind of terrified of it. But I'd only heard bad stories, and the fact that people were creating these communities to come to our shows, and because they were traveling alone, or it's just really nice to know that space exists around our music.
it is amazing. Yeah, you guys are definitely lucky because there are plenty of toxic fan bases out there.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah.
Black Country New Road was formed 7 years ago, and my question is, what is something that you both feel most proud of as a band right now? It can be musical, it can be emotional, it can be anything. Just something you're very proud of as a band. And I know that's a deeper one.
On a really basic level, I'm so proud that me and my mates, that most of them I met when I was 16 at school, are like able to go around the world and play music in places I never thought I would ever go to. I never even really considered going anywhere other than like the UK ever. Do you know what I mean? Like you never even can imagine. I could never imagine like going somewhere like to a foreign country for work, and the fact that we get to do that it's with the people I went to school with. It's incredible. It's such an amazing privilege.
Can't imagine.
And I'm really proud of that. And I'm also proud of the fact that we've always made the music we wanted to make, and we've never sacrificed anything for anyone else creatively. We've always done whatever we want to do, and to have done that and to have been able to have all the experiences that we've had, I'm so proud of that, for sure.
Great answer, Lewis.
Great answer, Lewis.
You gonna be able to follow that one up, or?
I mean, it's kind of endless, really. The
Yeah.
amount of things that
There's a
we've
lot to
done.
be proud of.
There's a lot to
There
be
is a
proud
lot
of.
to be proud of with you
It's
guys.
kind of like a marriage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you change a lot as people, especially as Lewis said. We've been together Lewis and I since we were about 16.
Wow.
We're different people now, but when we've made it this far,
Mhm.
so it feels at this point like, okay, I guess we could just do this for life then. We're locked in.
Yeah.
Whatever form that is. We've kept our integrity, and I'm proud of that.
Can definitely see that.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you all as well.
Thank you.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah, you're very
Let's
welcome. Yeah. Well, I think that's a good note to end it on. That brings us to the end of our time. I really appreciate you both sitting down with me today. And on behalf of myself and everyone watching, thank you for the beautiful, boundary-pushing music you've given us over the years, most recently with Forever Howlong.
I'm just
Thank you
so
so much,
relieved
Nick.
you like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it. Yeah.
Who knows what will happen next album? Vastly
Who knows?
different.
That's the exciting
We
part.
don't even know.
You can stream Forever Howlong wherever you get your music. Once again, I'm Nick Fry here with Tyler Hyde and Lewis Evans of Black Country New Road, signing off for now.